On World News Tonight this Friday, a federal judge rules that race does not count when it comes to education. A plan to pay teachers more money if their students do better. The ad for binge beer in the papers today. Whose idea was that, and why? What if your home appliances were aware of one another, technology on the cutting edge, and dedicated to speed? Maybe we have the hurry sickness.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We're going to begin this evening with the most deeply vexing issue in the history of America. A federal judge in North Carolina has ruled that the Charlotte, North Carolina school system may not use race as a factor in any decision it makes about operating the school system. Among other things, no more busing students to schools outside their neighborhood in order to integrate schools rather than allow segregation. This is not the first decision of its kind, but almost 30 years ago, when the Supreme Court ruled in favor of busing, it was in a case that started in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, in a very broad ruling, the judge has said Charlotte has done all it can to provide equal opportunity to students of all races. Here's ABC's Jackie Judd.
The end of an era for Charlotte schools came in a court decision that was unequivocal. The city's schools must be colorblind. White parents who launched the suit were ecstatic.
It's going to now be the quality of education being prioritized over the racial quotas that had driven everything from students to faculty selection to school siding, extracurricular activities. It's the whole ball of wax.
Federal Judge Robert Potter essentially said the district had met its constitutional duty by successfully creating a single school system serving all children regardless of race, and he said that no more need be done. Gloria Brown represented black families who fought to keep the desegregation order in place.
This case means that black children will not receive equal educational opportunities.
It means it's all over, history's canceled, the city is innocent.
The fear is that separate and unequal education will return to Charlotte. The 27 schools built there since 1969 have all gone up in the suburbs. And while those communities are more integrated than they were, they remain predominantly white. Most blacks still live in the inner city, where the older schools are. The white plaintiffs argued, and the judge agreed, that those older schools are adequately funded. Blacks say it's not the case.
They're going to schools that lack resources. They're going to schools where high numbers of teachers are inexperienced.
No one's here, that's right.
Today's decision probably will be appealed, but if it stands, the school system that became a symbol of civil rights will be on its own to prove it does not need the federal courts to give its children an equal education. Jackie Judd, ABC News, Washington.
Today's decision was, as we said, very broad, but certainly not unique. It is part of a trend which began in the mid-1980s. The campaign for desegregation is drawing out for various reasons. White flight to the suburbs, the huge costs involved, and many black parents have given up on it. ABC's Michelle Norris, who covers education for us, pointed out today that in city after city, black parents now believe that the most important goal is improving the quality of education their children get, even if it's at the expense of integration. Improving education. In Denver, Colorado tonight, it looks as if teachers are going to support the idea of a program to link their pay to performance. The support for merit pay and teacher accountability has been growing in the country, and here's ABC's Tom Foreman on the Denver experiment.
Orange is the color of the Jew.
Steve Levin has been a teacher for 10 years. He is confident he does a good job, confident most of his fellow teachers do too. That is why he voted for the new pay-for-performance plan.
It might encourage some teachers to, who are not performing now, to get with the program.
The plan will involve 450 teachers. For the next 2 years, each will get an extra $500 annually for being in the experiment, and a $1,000 bonus if his or her students improve their academic performance, which has been a concern here.
We have had tremendous pressure from the public to say we don't like the fact that teachers, no matter how well their kids do, automatically advance each year up this traditional salary schedule.
Some teachers have questions. If a teacher is given a class of advanced, motivated students, might not he or she have an unfair advantage? Will the competition for individual success hurt teamwork? Still, the nation's largest teachers' union wants to give it a fair shot.
And it does, in fact, give us an opportunity to have a real scientific sampling of whether or not performance-based pay will enhance student learning.
Since this is just a pilot program, there are very few apparent downsides. Teachers get extra money just for participating. Administrators get a real sense of how such a program might work. The Denver plan will be in place for 2 years, giving educators around the country a chance to see how performance pay performs. Tom Foreman, ABC News, Denver.
In the Atlantic today, another storm has reached hurricane status. Floyd, as this one has called, has a current path that would take it north of most islands in the Caribbean. It is too early to know if the U.S. mainland is at risk. Scientists said today a stronger than expected La Nina, which they actually thought would go away, makes it easier for hurricanes to be generated. Congress has issued another report card on the government's preparations for the Y2K computer problem that may or may not be faced when the year becomes 2000. This report finds that a number of programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and disaster relief, are lagging far behind, and some critical computers at the Defense Department are also still not up and ready. At prisons around the country today, the Puerto Rican nationalists granted clemency by President Clinton were set free. Their release has been quite controversial, pitting Mrs. Clinton, who is running for the Senate, against her husband. All but 2 of the nationalists are expected to return to Puerto Rico. There was a lot of talk around the world today about sending international troops to East Timor, but no sign that it's about to happen. And today the international community was actually pulling out in one respect. The United Nations evacuated most of its staff from the compound that has been the only sanctuary some very frightened people in the East Timor capital. Here once again is ABC's Mark Litke.
Many of today's evacuees were those in greatest danger, the Timorese UN employees and their families. 80 international UN staffers have volunteered to stay behind, the last meager line of defense for the 1,000 refugees still huddled in the compound.
It's symbolic to them that they have not been betrayed, they have not been abandoned, that, to them it's protection, essentially.
Even while the evacuees were taken to the airport in an Indonesian army convoy, militiamen emerged to launch a brief assault on the compound, threatening to kill all those staying behind. In the Indonesian capital tonight, there is some evidence that the government and military are starting to feel the heat from the widespread condemnation of their country. For the first time, the Armed Forces chief hinted he might consider peacekeeping forces, but now he says is not the appropriate time. And Indonesia's president spoke by phone to the UN Secretary General, assuring him that the military will do its job protecting the people.
And they are very professional.
A remark certain to create more outrage than reassurance, especially with the terrified refugees still huddled in the East Timor UN mission, still facing the very real threat of a massacre. Mark Litke, ABC News, Jakarta.
East Timor, Indonesia in general, is just one of several Asian problems on President Clinton's agenda this weekend. He has arrived in New Zealand for a summit of Asian leaders. China's eternal dispute with Taiwan is always a looming issue, and as if to make a point, as the president was arriving, China broadcast these pictures today, a large-scale mock invasion. Analysts call this the strongest threat made by the Chinese, at least rhetorically, since Taiwan's president infuriated China by suggesting Taiwan be treated as an independent state and not a part of China, which has always been the official Chinese policy. It's been a very violent day in Kosovo. These NATO soldiers were pelted with rocks and bottles and had to fire tear gas in return as they tried to break up a fight between Serbs and Albanians. 15 French peacekeepers were hurt, and so were 68 civilians. We have a new development today in a story that we reported some time ago. Several pharmaceutical companies, you may recall, had sued South Africa for making pirated versions of their AIDS drugs. South Africa, in the middle of an AIDS epidemic, said it didn't have enough money to pay for the expensive American drugs. The drug companies have dropped the lawsuit. When we come back, 5 or 6 drinks before the big test? Who on earth would promote that? And appliances that communicate with one another. Technology on the cutting edge.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Charles Schwab.
Shannon Sharp, please. He's always talking trash.
Japan, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
How diversified is your portfolio?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a P/E ratio, you divide the stock price.
Can a sunset make you happy? A child's laugh? A warm breeze? No. Not without emotional well-being inside. Now to help support the emotional wellness needed to enjoy life, there's Sammy from Nature Made. This natural supplement used around the world is now here for you. Nature Made Sam E. Because happiness comes from the inside.
This summer, put Cadillac Seville's amazing performance to the test and get a lesson in power and control. Then put our lease to the test. Lease a new 99 Seville for just $549 a month. Call for complete lease details. You'll even get a 3-year SmartCare basic maintenance contract at no extra charge. So drive a Seville today and put Cadillac to the test.
Anne Klein Eyewear by Luxottica. What do you want people to see?
I want you to see fearlessness.
The unexpected.
I want you to see you don't need words to make a statement.
Ask for the latest Anne Klein styles by Luxottica.
Oatmeal lovers, book a chapel in Vegas. If you have a passion for moist, chewy oatmeal and satisfying chunks of real fruit, then say I do to new Nutri-Grain Fruitful Squares. Fill up and you're good to go.
First of all, there was a very unusual ad in more than 100 newspapers around the country today. Take a look at it. Not just another ad for beer, but for binge beer hitting college campuses this fall. Binge beer pushing liquid courage for college kids. The ad was intended to get that reaction. ABC's Aaron Brown reports on what the ad says, who paid a fortune to get it in so many newspapers, and why it is so important.
It is a problem universities know well. Nearly half their students say they binge drink 4 to 5 drinks in a row. Like all ads, this one is designed to be noticed. It is both sarcastic and tongue-in-cheek. It reads in part, "We at Binge Beer understand that sometimes you just need 5 or 6 drinks the night before that big test. And who says falling off a balcony is such a bad thing? And what's an occasional riot or even an assault between friends?"
This ad is not designed to reach out to college and university students. This ad is designed to start a conversation with adults in public, community leaders, opinion makers, lawmakers, and parents.
Adults who may not know how serious the problem has become. Kids do know, but 18-year-olds, away from home and on their own for the first time, are tough to reach.
We don't know yet what works. What you'll find if you look around the country at the major universities that are part of this campaign is that we are trying everything.
Including a sarcastic newspaper ad designed to get people talking, which it has. Aaron Brown, ABC News, New York.
On the money tonight, inflation is rising faster than expected. The Producer Price Index, which measures inflation at the wholesale level, was up 0.5% last month, mostly because of an increase in the price of oil and food. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down just under 51 points to close at 11,028. On the NASDAQ, stocks were up 35 points to close at 2887. That, incidentally, is a record high. In our next segment, machines that talk to each other. Technology on the cutting edge.
Raisin Bran, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
That Raisin Bran has less than half your folic acid for the day. Even less of your zinc.
That's a weenie breakfast, Frank.
There's almost no vitamin E at all. Raisin Bran, just one bowl gives you 100% of 10 important vitamins and minerals you need for the day. No other Raisin Bran comes close.
Attaboy, Frank. And there's room for my spoon.
Total Raisin Bran, total cornflakes. What are you getting for breakfast?
Why do people love squirrels but hate rats? They're both rodents, and yet the squirrel is tolerated, downright beloved. Why? Does that cute, fuzzy tail make that much of a difference? Absolutely. Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Nicely equipped at 17.7. Further proof that looks do matter.
If you can do this, you can make wood beautiful with Minwax. And if you can do this, you can give wood lasting protection. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
Oh yeah, I'm on a seafood diet. I see food, I eat it. But thanks to Healthy Choice, I've got a nutritional guardian angel. Like the roast chicken. All the fixins, only 6 grams of fat. What is that, like a sit-up? Healthy Choice. Figured it out. Chicken breast, smothered in a mushroom wine sauce, veggies, so fresh tasting, they bite back. It's a plate full of good eating. There's no room for extra salt and fat. Choose Healthy Choice. How easy is that?
Oh, I should have used Preparation H. Cool it fast. Introducing Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. New Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact.
In our regular report about cutting-edge technology, the world is about to get a whole lot more interconnected. That means that machines, even common household appliances, are going to be able to talk to each other. Here's ABC's Jack Smith.
Computer chips today are found inside almost everything we use. Telephones, cars, pagers, you name it. But suppose these different devices could communicate with each other. Technologists say it's the next big step.
The first round in allowing us to make a better world we live in is to make the devices we use to build the world speak with each other. That gives us new powers to make a better design.
Take an example. Let's say your electric stove could speak to the alarm clock in your bedroom. Sounds far-fetched, but suppose there were a fire here. The stove could use the wiring in the house to send a message to the alarm clock to wake you up and warn you.
So the fire alarm or the smoke alarm would go off right next to my bed.
Right next to my bed, as opposed to maybe 3 floors away down in the basement where I don't hear it because I'm a sound sleeper.
And these are devices that are completely independent of each other.
Different manufacturers, had never been anticipated to be used in that fashion.
It's all done with a special computer program called Genie, a sort of universal language for appliances that's put into chips, which are then placed in everyday devices. The first product to have the new technology is this dishwasher. If your laptop also has Genie inside, it can literally talk to the dishwasher.
And say, bring me your service. And it's going to take the front panel off the dishwasher and just bring it right in front of me.
So I can now operate this dishwasher from here?
Operate it, or it can tell you what it's doing, it can get its temperature, or it can interact with other devices.
If it breaks down, the dishwasher can also use the computer to send email back to the shop where you bought it. No appliance has ever been able to seek help like this.
I'm not going to monitor it. I'm not going to worry about it. I know someone else is taking care of it. Let's rely on the network and the network technologies to simplify my life.
Scientists believe in the future, all devices will be networked together. Imagine if cell phones, by checking digital diaries, knew when not to ring, during meetings, for instance. The creator of Genie, Bill Joy, wants devices to be really smart.
So they need to be not only aware of other devices, but they need to be aware of where they are and when they are, so that they can start doing things that make sense to us as opposed to them. They're kind of operating on their own logic right now.
Suddenly, I can build a new, intelligent world that I work in, that responds to me, gives me more control.
A world where our devices may actually begin to work with us, and not, as they so often seem to today, against us. Jack Smith, ABC News, Cupertino, California.
Well, here's what they've been watching on Swiss television this week. 4 mountain climbers, 3 men and a woman, climbing over a mile, straight up the sheer Eiger Mountain. And in Switzerland, it has been broadcast live. When they made it to the top this afternoon, 70% of the Swiss television audience was watching. Take a look at that view. The four of them refused a helicopter ride back down. In the tradition of mountain climbing, they will walk or climb back down. In a moment, the obsession of the century. What do Chuck Yeager, a McDonald's cheeseburger, and Henry Ford all have in common?
Where will you be when your grandson gets his first taste of the ocean? When man walks on Mars? When your children want to discover their heritage? Life is filled with moments you don't want to miss. That's why if you have high cholesterol and heart disease, you should know about Zocor. Zocor is proven to help save lives by reducing the risk of a heart attack. So where will you be tomorrow? That could depend on what you do today. When diet and exercise aren't enough, talk to your doctor about adding Zocor. Zocor is a prescription medication and is not right for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems, because serious side effects can result. Tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Zocor, and about any medicines you are taking. For more information, talk to your doctor or call. Zocor, it's your future. Be there.
While Johnny Kim was getting ready for the first customers of the day, someone else was looking at larger space for his growing business. At 3 o'clock, while the Curtis family was watching their daughter's soccer game, someone else was walking a prospective tenant through one of their apartment buildings. And while Carmen Delabar was preparing for a fashion show, someone else met with an appraiser about her investment property. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're realtors. Real estate is our life.
Oatmeal lovers, book a chapel in Vegas. If you have a passion for moist, chewy oatmeal and satisfying chunks of real fruit, then say I do to new Nutri-Grain Fruitful Squares. Fill up and you're good to go.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
This summer, put Cadillac Seville's amazing performance to the test and get a lesson in power and control. Then put our lease to the test. Lease a new 99 Seville for just $549 a month. Call for complete lease details. You'll even get a 3-year SmartCare basic maintenance contract at no extra charge. So drive a Seville today and put Cadillac to the test.
You've dreamed of opening your own place. Now stay healthy and energetic and enjoy it. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver. Its age-essential nutrients may help maintain your immunity and help keep your heart healthy. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver.
Tonight, a baby vanishes without a trace. Some are suspicious. Could her parents know more than they say? The mystery, the clues, the controversy. 2020 tonight.
Coming up next on Channel 2 News, a road rage incident ends with the arrest of a teenager, and look what police found in his car. Plus, parents are outraged when their small children are let off the school bus at the wrong stop. I'm Steve Dunn. Local News is next.
Finally from us this evening, the century on Friday, which on Friday means that our broadcast is just about over. Incidentally, if we don't finish exactly on time every night, the great network computer, great computer in the sky, we think of it, comes along and drags us off the air anyway. It is all about the most precious commodity of the 20th century. Tonight, the 20th century's most persistent command. Faster, faster. So much of the creative energy in the 20th century has been dedicated to speed, getting places more rapidly, doing work more efficiently, eating in less time, refining life to the millisecond.
This is the century that has mastered the measurement of time.
But But it didn't begin that way. When the 20th century began, life was simpler and slower.
The horse was still the main means of getting about, and face-to-face was the main means of communicating.
A 20 or 30 mile per hour train trip was considered a thrilling ride. To cross the ocean in a week, astonishingly fast. Meals were occasion for reflection, conversation.
It was the great period of the front porch. Sometimes the neighbors would pass and we exchanged bows.
And then the wristwatch, invented in 1904, made its appearance in jewelry stores. Now the time was available at the flick of a wrist.
You could argue that the defining piece of apparel in our century is the wristwatch. In previous centuries, it was hard for people to find out what time it was.
And then timing became an essential factor in the workplace, a regular motivation for work. Henry Ford's assembly line was designed to waste not even a moment, with part after part moving like clockwork.
He put in raw materials at one end of the factory. Automobiles came at the other end of the factory. He wanted everything to move along at a fast rate without any stoppage.
Now, with a car in every driveway and a stopwatch running in every factory, speed took on a whole new meaning. Maximizing efficiency became the watchword. Time, after all, was money. Time became so important. In the middle of the century, Roger Bannister tried to run the 4-minute mile. And he did. Pilots, including Chuck Yeager, went so fast, they broke the sound barrier. McDonald's introduced fast food. Their first mascot was actually named Speedy.
Gotta slow down, slow down.
Two California cardiologists said the fast life gave us type A behavior. They cited fast lane driving, finger drumming, caffeine drinking, impatient Americans as more likely to get heart disease.
Will you stop honking, Mac? We ain't going nowhere.
And yet, amazingly, the most dramatic pursuit of speed was yet to come. Today's increasingly rapid retrieval of information, time compressed to take up as small a space as possible.
Here we are in the middle of an important, thoughtful, hopefully profound segment on one of the world's leading evening news shows. And if the whole thing lasts 4 minutes, it'll be like an opera.
Today, there's no end of time. Stock trading continues through the night. Television news is a 24-hour business.
We do think that there's got to be a cost to all of this speed.
Making the days of the front porch and the horse-drawn wagon, of the slow trip to nowhere and the languid days spent outside the worry of the hour, seem freshly appealing. A life lived apart from the 20th century's obsession with time. And it's true. We're out of time. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good weekend. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABCNews.com, now a part of the Go Network.
This is KATU, the power of 2000. Now, Channel 2 News.
A dozen grade school kids forced to wander through the streets of Northeast Portland. Their parents say the bus driver